He didn't look up when he said it. "I have full restructuring authority," he added, pen already moving. "You're outdated. We're done here." The paper slid across the table. "Termination immediate. No severance, no explanation." I nodded, understood. My voice didn't shake. That mattered because the moment his signature dried, the retirement trust activated its voting rights. He never read the fine print. He never read anything I gave him. That was always his weakness. I cleared my desk slowly. Family photos last. Hard drive wiped. Keys placed neatly in the drawer like an offering. The security guard avoided my eyes. Everyone else pretended not to notice. By the time I stepped into the elevator, the company no longer belonged to him. He just didn't know it yet. We didn't start as enemies. We started as partners. I built the backbone of the firm when it was just a rented floor and ambition taped together with caffeine. I trusted him with the spotlight because I preferred the shadows. I made him look brilliant. He made me invisible. There were nights we slept on office couches laughing about how we'd change the industry. He called me the grown-up in the room, said he couldn't do this without me. I believed him because I wanted to. That was before the closed-door meetings, before my calendar invites stopped arriving, before my recommendations were suddenly too conservative. Betrayal doesn't announce itself. It leaks. I found out on a Tuesday, accidentally, an email forwarded to the wrong alias, my alias, a consultant's report proposing executive streamlining, my name circled, my role marked redundant, my equity listed as non-controlling. That last word made me smile. They thought I was sentimental, loyal, safe. They forgot who structured the ownership, who insisted on contingencies, who buried control inside retirement vehicles and long-term trusts, untouchable unless someone was careless enough to terminate me without cause. I didn't confront him. Pain is loud. Planning is quiet. For 6 months I prepared. I let him believe I was shrinking. I missed meetings, deferred decisions, gave him room to feel powerful. While he pined, I collected emails, audio, calendar overlaps, rent agreements, vendor kickbacks routed through shell consultancies owned by his cousin. I hired auditors he didn't recognize, lawyers he didn't know existed. I also bought the building, not directly, through a real estate fund, through another trust, through silence. He raised the rent the morning after firing me, bragging to the board about cost discipline. The notice hit his desk an hour later. 300% increase, immediate effect. That was when he slammed the table. "This is insane," he shouted. "Call the lawyers now." They already had. By Monday morning, the board convened an emergency meeting. I arrived early, sat at the end of the table, same seat I always took when I didn't need to be seen. He walked in laughing, stopped short when he saw me. "You can't be here," he said. I said nothing. The chair cleared her throat. "We need to address the voting irregularity." I slid a folder forward. Blue. Familiar. He'd signed it years ago, barely glancing up. 76%. That was my number. Deferred compensation through retirement instruments, through clauses triggered by termination without cause. He stared at the documents, color draining from his face. This isn't possible." "It is," I said softly, my first words of the meeting. The room leaned toward me. The fallout was efficient. His restructuring authority was revoked, his expense accounts frozen pending investigation. The board demanded explanations he couldn't give without implicating himself. The building rent stood, the vendors fled, the stock dipped, then stabilized. He tried to speak to me privately. "Why?" he asked, cornering me by the elevators. "We could have talked." I looked at the numbers scrolling across the lobby screen, green arrows upward. "You did talk," I said. "You just didn't listen." Security escorted him out an hour later. No severance. Immediate.
I watched from the window as he stood on the sidewalk, phone pressed to his ear, discovering how fast power evaporates when it's borrowed. That night, I walked through the office alone. The lights hummed, the desks were empty. I paused at his former corner office, floor-to-ceiling windows. Great view, poor judgment. I didn't take it. I didn't need the symbol. I needed the silence. People ask if I feel guilty. No, I feel accurate. Betrayal taught me clarity. It stripped away the noise, the loyalty theater, the polite lies. What remained was leverage, patience, the understanding that justice doesn't scream, it waits. I never raised my voice, never threatened, never warned. I simply let him finish signing. And when he finally realized who owned the room, it was already over. That's the thing about quiet people. We're never as powerless as you think. We're just counting.